Hello everyone, my name is Wilson, and I just love pranks and pranking others. That's the kind of person I am. I can't help it. All my friends know this, and at school a lot of people fell victim to my pranks. So pranking them didn't feel the same anymore, and I decided to choose a new person, someone who does not know my reputation, someone innocent in this regard, so to speak. And just as I was sitting in class with my classmates, our brand new teacher walked in. You get the idea already, right? The key word here is new. Anyway, she introduced herself as Mrs. Rave. Doo-doo-doom. It went through my head. She looked like a middle-aged woman, thin, not ugly, but not pretty either. She had a very stern appearance. Once she told us a little about herself, and she said she had come to us from a different country and would now be teaching math. And she asked if we had any questions. Are you married? Any kids? I blurted out. I just wanted everyone to laugh because it was getting too boring. She didn't expect such a question. She said very dryly and briefly, "Yes, I have a husband and a daughter." And then she was strangely silent, coughed and sat down at the table. "Do you have any questions about the topic?" she asked in an even sterner voice. We were silent, and the class began. After class, we went out for recess, and my friends tapped me on the shoulder saying that I was such a brave and funny guy, asking straightforward questions and embarrassing her. I could do more than that. I already have a couple of ideas. Shall we test her fortitude? She always is tough? I asked them and they nodded back with a smile. We were supposed to have another lesson with her in a couple of hours, so I prepared ahead of time. I bought a bag and filled it with water, then switched her glass of water with garlic water. I also planted a toy mouse in her desk. We sat down to wait for class, and when the teacher opened the door, the bag of water fell on her head and tore, making her wet. I was filming her at the time, expecting her to scream so hard that the windows in the classroom would burst. But guess what? Teacher didn't even make a sound. She just tilted her head, took off her glasses, fixed up her hair, and walked on. Got some tissues, wiped herself off, gave the assignment on the board, and went into the other room. She changed her clothes and came out again like nothing happened. Everyone was looking at me like I was a moron. I couldn't understand where she got the nerves of steel. The teacher asked this person on duty to wipe the floor, then opened the textbook and began to explain the new topic. My hope was still looking out, for I had 2 more pranks ahead of me. During the lecture, Mrs. Rave sat down in her chair and picked up a glass of water. As soon as she began to drink it, she paused a little, sniffed, and drank more water and set the glass aside. Not a muscle on her face flinched at that moment. Everyone was shocked, especially me. After another 5 minutes, she pulled out a desk drawer and found out a toy in the shape of a mouse. Do you know what she did? She took it in her hands and stroked it as if it were some kind of anti-stress tool. Nonchalantly and sternly, she spent the whole class. I could already see my classmates laughing at me, like I'm such a failed prankster, and it really did piss me off. A minute before the end of class, Miss Rave stood up from her seat and said in a calm, even voice, "I have a lot of experience teaching and working in schools. If you want to maintain a mutual respectful relationship between us, then let's not start with pranks," she said, and I inadvertently interrupted her. "Wow, you know that word?" Not only do I know the word, but unfortunately, within the walls of the school building, I am a teacher, so I don't have the right to say whatever I want. But will you teach me? You're the teacher. Wilson Ball, I can teach you math. You should also sign up for ethics class, because I could see you could use it. Are you always this strict? Of course not. Right now, I'm not strict at all. I'm even calm. By the way, take the water bag, the glass of garlic, and the dead mouse back with you. What? It's not mine. I didn't. What makes you think it was me anyway? Like I said, I have a lot of experience with school children. I see right through them all. Class dismissed. There's a math practice test tomorrow. Get ready. Everyone exhaled in frustration. The kids said that the test was because of me. I was so mad that I decided to challenge her. "Are you out of your mind? She'll do you. Have you seen her?" they asked. And I said that just to add to the fire. I've always had a very easy time with pranks. People's reactions are all what I need. If she doesn't get it, then I have to take it to the next level. "How's that?" my friend with the shortest height of 5'5" and braces asked. "No way. That information is out of your reach. And out of your teeth. Haha." Minnie Bob took offense. And that got me thinking. That's right. I just need to find her weak spot, that's all. Just what is it? I asked myself out loud. And then the memory of the question about her family hit me like a bolt of lightning. Ah, yes, she coughed. What if I could find her daughter online and prank her so viciously then she would definitely show emotion? What if I came up with something unconventional, unusual? I just have to do it and get back at her. You know, at that moment I was so angry, of course, because no one ever had acted like that before. Usually everyone was just scared or laughed at it, and she showed complete indifference in front of everyone. I was humiliated. I couldn't just leave it at that. Anyway, there was no information on social media about her daughter. All I heard from the other teachers was that she was away and her name was Jane. I think she was 15. That wasn't enough. Coming up with a challenge was harder than I wanted it to be. But I wasn't going to give up. And then, an idea. When we had the class again, at recess I managed to steal her phone out of her purse, hid it at my place, and waited for class to start. She had Jane's phone number. I was just waiting for the moment, about 10 minutes after it started, and I was like, I'm sorry, Miss Rave. There's somebody else's phone under my chair. Oh, and there's a message from Jane. Mom, I'm pregnant. Wow, who's Jane? Whose phone is this? I asked with a surprised look. Here, the teacher blushed visibly. She became uncomfortable. She was breathing so fast and deep, I could see she was holding back her emotions. And then she came to me abruptly, snatched the phone out of my hands and started to almost yell at me. Who let you take my phone? Why, is it yours? Give it back to me. Don't you dare. You got it. Don't you ever say her name again. She screamed it out loud and ran out to the office in tears. I didn't know what was going on, but the whole class fell silent. I thought that it was going to be a prank, like the teacher was going to be like surprised or shocked or something. And then I was like, kidding. I mean, she's so reserved, but I didn't feel comfortable at this point either. I mean, firstly, because I didn't understand what was going on. A minute later, I was called into the principal's office and he greeted me with shouting, "What the hell did you do? The ambulance took her. She got sick. Do you have any idea what you've done? Her daughter has been dead for 5 years." The principal's words echoed in my mind. You know, I felt the kind of shame one can only guess at. The first thing I did was go to the hospital. I could barely find Mrs. Rave's room. They wouldn't let me sit in it at first, but then when she saw me, she started crying and making me go away. But I admitted it. I admitted it was me and that pranking had gone too far. I apologized and said I was sorry. Miss Rave was angry, but then she got quiet and we sat in silence for about 20 minutes, and then I quietly asked her how it had happened. She told me that her daughter had an important math test to take that day, and that she hadn't studied because of the day before, all because it was her birthday and she wanted to celebrate. Miss Rave scolded her heavily for the bad grade, saying that her daughter was irresponsible and that she couldn't have done so poorly on the exam. Anyway, they had a big fight, and Jane freaked out and ran away from home. And then she was missing. It took a month to find the girl. Her body was found somewhere in the river. They say that she was crying there, and that she accidentally snapped. She was only 15 years old, and after that incident, her husband left Miss Rave and she's been teaching math ever since, for years. I begged for forgiveness, and finally she forgave me. From that point on, the pranks were over. I realized my stupidity and I had overstepped the boundaries. I was wrong. Jokes are supposed to make people laugh, not hurt them, especially not like this. Overall, guys, I want to say that prank with safety and caution in mind, but still remember to have fun though. Otherwise, what's the point? If you liked the video, then please leave a like and comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel.